Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today, we're going to just sit down or stand up, I guess, and talk about collecting cards in Sorcery Contested Realm. Now, before you click angrily in the comment section and say, doesn't anybody play this game? Check out the footage on the channel with a lot of gameplay. We've done deck techs, we've been doing gameplay, and today we're going to talk about the collectability of the card game Sorcery Contested Realm and why I enjoy collecting it so much. So first we're going to go through, and I'm going to tell you why I believe in the collectability of Sorcery Contested Realm, and then I'm going to share some of the things I think people are collecting and the ways they are collecting, just to give you guys some ideas. If I miss anything, I would love for you to put it in the comment section below and tell me how you're collecting or why you choose to collect Sorcery, because I'm very interested in this as a collector myself. So number one, I think as you talk about collecting card games, what we've learned over the last 20 years of, I guess 30 years of Magic the Gathering, is that card games need to have a story connected to them. You have to have the gameplay that creates iconic memories and storylines to your cards, so that people look at them with nostalgia, and they look at the cards and they matter, and it's not just because the pictures look good. And I believe that Sorcery creates a really, really fun play experience that is iconic, and it tells a story every time you play it. It tells some sort of story of this happened and it was crazy with that card, and the interactions that you have in the gameplay really make you look at the cards and say, that was fun. And if you have that, it creates all sorts of things in the brain, right? You've got the nostalgia and the dopamine of seeing that card again and remembering the time that it happened. And that's where something, in my opinion, then becomes collectible, because you have an emotional attachment to the item that you remember in gameplay. So it has gameplay and it creates really cool stories. And then the next thing, obviously, is the bold and creative artwork that is just unmatched by any modern trading card game. The artwork is iconic. It is, it's hand drawn, which is a really cool aspect to it, right? Like that it is actually hand painted art, not digital art. That is really cool. That is one of the things that makes it so unique in our current environment. But just because it's hand painted doesn't mean it's good. And the artwork is iconic and it's bold and it stands out at you. And when I see that, there's a lot of reasons why that makes something collectible. Obviously, number one, it's fun to look at, and we look at our cards. If everything was just like a black and white piece of paper, even though the card was really cool, it wouldn't be, people wouldn't like it. And we like looking at shiny things. We like things that look good. It's just kind of the human way of life. But the other thing that really adds to this, and I see this all the time in the store, is people come up and they see it on the table and they say, hey, what game is that? Because the artwork is so good, it's eye-catching, and it creates more interest. It creates more demand for the product long term, which is great for your collector. You want your collectible thing to be something that other people look at and enjoy as well. If you're the only, I guess you can technically collect things that nobody else cares about. I'm sure that happens, but realistically, we all want to collect things because people want them. That's just part of the collectible nature of cards or things. So that iconic bold art does a lot of things. It's fun to look at, it's cool to look at, but it also catches the eye and it helps grow the game. And the growth of the game is really important to the collectability of the game, because you want things to hold value and not collapse upon itself. The third thing that I think makes this game really collectible, before I get into how I'm collecting or whatever, the why collecting it, is the honed in print supply that they have chosen to go. I talked about this with the alpha supply of the Kickstarter, that printing it to demand was the best thing that they could have done. There was a lot of other Kickstarter games at the time that were doing very limited tiers, where it was like the only way to get the day zero or the Kickstarter variant or whatever was if you signed up on these 3 days and whatever. And we're not seeing success out of those things, right? Because it was artificial demand. The Kickstarter had an open you could go and sign up and you could create 50 different, you could get 1 million boxes if you want. It was a completely demand-driven Kickstarter. And so the demand that it generated was equal to the amount that came out. And everybody said, oh my gosh, 29,000 boxes is too many. That's way too many, whatever. but the market has well absorbed them. Trust me, I've been trying to get boxes and cases right now. It's hard to get alpha cases right now. You got to work at it a little bit, right? And so because of the honed-in print supply, it creates this kind of reason to collect. The reason that you collect this, in my opinion, is that it's a safe place to put some money in, to put some time. Nobody wants to just watch their money go out the window. And so because it has a honed-in supply, it also creates a fun factor of collecting where things aren't just easy. I know we live in this world where everything is easy, but one of the things that people like about collecting is the chase to collect the set, or the chase to collect whatever they think of. And so by making this a thing that is not easy to do, you've created demand for the product that goes a long way, I think. I really enjoy, I finished up my non-foil collection, and I started really going for the foil collection and picking up some of the stuff on the side that when I see good prices on it. And it is amazing. I have opened on my channel over 100 alpha boxes on my channel. Check the videos. It's amazing how many cards I'm still missing. It's absolutely crazy the number. I'm missing like 100 cards still in foil. It's a challenge that keeps me coming back, and it's fun to collect. And man, that says a lot about the hobby. So the last thing, the reason that people are collecting, the reason I think you should collect is the team behind Sorcery. Eric and Simon and the whole team, they just know their stuff. I know they've had problems getting stuff to places on time, and logistically there's been a lot of issues, but the structure of their team and the backbone of who they are collectors. I don't know if you knew this, but if you look up the #1 alpha Magic the Gathering collection on BGS, Beckett Grading Services, it says Sorcery Contested Realm. Because somebody who owns the rights to that, I guess, has made it Sorcery. Their team, I believe it's Eric. I don't know. I'm going to speculate that. I believe it's Eric owns that Alpha Magic the Gathering collection. They understand, as the creators, they understand the collectability of this world, of this hobby, and they're interested in that. They want their game to be collectible. It's a core tenet of what they believe in for trading card games, which makes it, means that they've learned lessons. They've seen the way that other things have gone, and they will correct the ship if needed. So we're seeing that, like with the beta thing stuff right now. So those are the why to collect Sorcery. Now here are a couple ideas. I have 4 thoughts on what people will collect. And again, I would love to hear from you. What are you collecting in Sorcery? Number 1, and this is what I'm doing, is set collecting. So this has kind of died off in Magic the Gathering. Pokemon, it's still very active, even in modern Pokemon, to collect the full set. But this is, in Sorcery, there's 403 cards in alpha, I believe 402 in beta, and counting every single one of those cards and putting in a binder and collecting one of each, or even if you're a player, a lot of people will do a play set of each card. With Sorcery, it's really cool because you only need one of each unique, which makes it really easy to do a full collector, a full play set collection. Because then you just need 2 of the elites. It's just easier than like a 4 of with Magic. So that's really cool. I think set collecting is the way I'm going, is just like have a binder, have one of every card. You can upgrade that to foil if you want to go, really uber difficult. Of course, in the alpha version, there is only a possibility of having 250 alpha sets total. Like because there's only 243 or something like that, alpha foils for the unique foils of each one. So it's really hard to get a full alpha set for sure. The second way to collect would be artist focus. I think this is really cool too. It's a dynamic that I don't love for Sorcery. It's not my thing. I'm not an artist person. I don't follow the artists and track the artists and look at the artist stuff. That's not who I am. It's just not that exciting for me. I like the art, but like the artists, it's just not my thing. But a lot of people have connections to the artists based on other artworks that they've done in the past for other games that they love. And so they'll just straight up collect just that artist. And that's really cool. That's a whole nother way to embrace collecting in the game. The third thing is it was kind of cool to do is thematically collecting. So you've got like pirates, you've got the Alchemy 9, right? You've got people, Josh from Hometown TCG, he's collecting all the foil sharks. You've got people who are going after, the foil gray wolves because you can have any number of them in your deck. It's really cool to see people find the themes that, like, I don't even know, like people who really like all the void cards, right? And they're just collecting those things, and they're probably, picking out foils of those things and that kind of stuff. But it's really cool that you have this set that is huge, and you can hone it in and say, man, those 30 cards that are all pirate themed, I love pirates, and I'm going to collect those things. So it's cool to see the community evaluate different themes and things that they're collecting. And then the last thing, I think, is those who collect for an investment purpose. Those who are collecting the highest rarity of things because they know it's not going to get reprinted. And say what you will about those, that kind of thing, but this does add value into Sorcery as a collectible game when they come out and say, hey, we are going to protect the value of some of these things by not reprinting it in the same artwork. And that's a really cool thing. So you're seeing that, of course, with the Alchemy 9, you got your Philosopher's Stone, you got your cores, you've got your mixes to a less degree, where people are, believing that because of the Power 9 of Magic the Gathering. But then you've also got the cards that are, they're changing the artwork for. You've got your Frazetta artworks that are going, Cortesian, the Parmesan cheese. Just sold it for $2,400, right? Like, it's crazy to see the value that people put on things just because they know it won't be printed again. And that is what they want to collect, because they want to collect something that has higher value than the other stuff. The other stuff that I see in that world is like the curios, right? Where it's like, there's no promise that they won't reprint the curios, but if you look at the reasons that I put out to collect, you can infer that the team wants to see those curios not reprinted. They want to see those curios have a collectible value to them. So I don't know. I would venture to say, I didn't want to start this off this way, but I would venture to say that if Sorcery doesn't radically change the ship, that this will become one of the most collectible TCGs ever created, in that they are building it from the ground up as a collectible card game. And I really, really, really love that. As somebody who, man, I've spent my whole life collecting things, baseball cards, Pokemon cards, Magic cards, everything. I really like the idea that they have a history amongst their team of collectibles, and that they value the collectability of stuff. And so for me, that's one of the things I really like about Sorcery. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What did I miss? What did I hit right? Let me know what you are personally collecting, what you're hunting for. If you have a favorite artist, shout them out too. You guys have yourself a fantastic day. We'll be back to the Alpha Rips hopefully this week. I got some cases coming, and we're gonna keep hunting for that stone, that foil stone. It's coming, everyone. Have a great day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.